However, we're gonna go into the dungeons, and I saw somebody ask about Nell Forest, so we'll start with that one. Beneath the Obsidian Citadel, there lies Nell Forest, home of the Black Dragonflight horde and the secrets behind their legendary forging. When the Jaradin woke from their slumber, they chose Nell Forest as the point of entry from their attack. Surprised to find it deserted, they quickly laid claim to its secrets for themselves, as well as the rest of the Obsidian Citadel. Howdy, by the way, Sukov. Hello there. So, this is in correlation with the zone where you party with the Black Dragonflights. We've got Rephion versus Sibelian. Sibelian is a true child of Deathwing that's been hanging out on Outland ever since his daddy came up with the beautiful plan of dropping his ex on Draenor. Yeah. And Sibelian has been held a line against, like, Ron the Dragon Killer, but made friends with Rexar. But other than that, he's done fuck all. And Blizzard kind of forgot about him. Then there's Rephion. Rephion was created by us during the Cataclysm, and we created something unique, an uncorrupted Black Dragon since millennia. Of course, he did things in his own right, and he kind of caused Legion to happen, and he kind of murdered Varian and betrayed us all a couple of times, but we made what we wanted to make. We made a Defender of Azeroth, 100%. We made a true Black Dragon. These two make their way into the zone, and now they're pretty much fighting over the throne as to who gets the lead to the Black Dragonflight, and that's where the zone story leads off. The Jaradin, they're a new race added to Dragonflight. They're basically Vrykul, except Dragon Isle's Vrykul. That's the Jaradin. This veteran Dragon Hunter's title was given ages ago as a mark of legend. While the Kalashi hunters under his command train, he plans their next offensive and awaits with eager anticipation the opportunity to display his expertise. This is a Jaradin right here. Then we have Forge Master Gorak as one of the Jaradin's most distinguished craftsmen. Forge Master Gorak now resides in his sweltering chamber of the Black Dragon Barracks. There, he harnessed the ingenious power of the massive forge to construct deadly weaponry. Let me actually go. Minimum character name size. Adjust the naming size for characters. Oh, that's cool. Motion sickness. Oh, I love these accessibilities. But what I was looking for was graphics. And I'm looking for UI skill. 114%. Yes, there we go. Now you can all read along. The Jaradin discovered many of Neltharian's secrets while plundering Nell Forest. They're very unique in their naming scheme, by the way. Howdy, Axel. Hello there. Sibelian should be corrupted as the rest of the Black Dragons. Unknown. Like, in essence, yes. In essence, we know that, you know, the madness of Deathwing spread throughout his flight. However, let's not forget that our boy Sibelian has spent his time on Outland, away from the Old Gods' influence, right? Like, he's not been on Azeroth. He's been away for quite a while. What exactly happened to him in Outland? There is a massive gap, even though he's just been standing there. Like, what exactly he's been up to? And next to Rephion, we also have Ebonhorn, who got cleansed with the Hammer of Kaskarov. Who knows what happened to the Black Dragonflight? Did perhaps taking care of Deathwing at the end of the Cataclysm also sever the Old Gods' connection? Or perhaps did the Death of N'Zoth at the end of Battle for Azeroth do something for Sibelian? Who knows, right? There are no Old Gods in Outland. No. There are the ones that were summoned by the Arakoa back in the Burning Crusade, with that screenshot that I remember. But they never confirmed that those were Old Gods or not. What they have confirmed later down the line in Chronicles Volume 2 is that there were no Old Gods on Draenor. So when... Oh god, the one that got killed by Sargeras, his second-hand lieutenant, Agramar? Agramar. Was it Agramar? Agramar. So when Agramar found the planet, he didn't find an Old God infection, rather he found a plant infection. Which is why he created that big-ass stone thing. So rather than an Old God infection, that planet had a plant infection. Howdy, good fellow. Hello there. Exactly. Yeah. No, you're not wrong, Klotzy. You're not wrong. If you go over Burning Crusade lore, there was definitely the suggestion of, are there Old Gods on Outland? And let's not forget that there's also the Anzu storyline, and the Pale Ones. Like, there's definitely Old God influences on Draenor. There's just not specifically Old Gods on Draenor. The Jardin discovered many of Nelfarian's secrets. An experimental potion has gone awry, created Magma Tusk, a behemoth of mammoth bent on sheer destruction. Oh. Wow. Is that a mount, though? Can we actually get that as a mount? I'm sure that we're gonna get a mount like that. Howdy, Merryweather. Hello there. Leader of the Kalash Jardin, Warlord Sarga, has been in search of anything that would increase the power of her clan, help her take down the draconic enemies. In the horde at the heart of Nell Forest, she may have found exactly what the Jardin need. Mommy! Do you have a little dragon on your helmet, or is that a little kitty cat? It's hard to tell. Howdy, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, so that's basically the idea on the Jardin doing the whole attack against the Black Dragonflight. So they basically make opportunity of, hey, the Black Dragonflight's weakened, let's get in there, and we have like Sibelian Ebonhorn and Rephion that we party with. Thank you, thank you. Can I make them add more furries? I mean, surely if you add more comics to Twitter and be like, yo, Blizzard, this is my dream. I want you to add more furries. In exchange, I got these comics for you. I think that has more effect than I do, unfortunately. However, we got sexy dragons that they're adding. You know who I am. Yeah, I follow you on Twitter. So, yeah, I love what you do. Of course I know who you are. Okay. If we have no request, we'll move on to Algervar. Dragons aren't furry enough, right? We got Volpera, we got the Tauren, we got the pandas. We need more. We need kitty cats. Where are my cat girls? Wow. Where are they at, huh? Where are the bunny boys? Okay. Long ago, the great Algervar Academy was a place of higher learning for all the dragons. Though it fell dormant with the rest of the Isles, it is reopened and is back under the guidance of the head teacher, Doragosa. In a series of exciting new changes, the Academy is currently seeking new students from all walks of life, not just dragons, as well as volunteers to help get it back to the bustling halls of education it once was. Those who walk the Academy grounds are sure to learn something new. We've actually done this dungeon. This dungeon is fun. They play around with some cool mechanics and some cool UIs. Like on Craft, you have the choice on what gold that you want to use, and either you stun the boss and it increases its damage taken, or you do like orbs, you get a haste buff. This was a fun dungeon to go through. As one of the most tenured professors in the Academy, Max Dormu uses his powers as a bronze dragon to help bring history lessons to life. While this proves to be quite an educational and fun experience, it can occasionally go awry. Veximus is one of Professor Max Dormu's favorite lessons, but if any historical detail is inaccurate, he will be quick to throw any rowdy students in detention. So they'll tell you, like, once upon a time, this and this happens, and you need to reenact it. Yeah. Do we have a mod in the chat right now? I need to get Nightbot in on this. I really do. If the troll lore sucks, I'm gonna pull a door on and drop off for 5 months and go to Final Fantasy just for the troll lore? Ooh. How do I tell you this? Okay. Okay, so... I hope you're ready. There is no troll lore. Yet. Hold on. Yet. There is no troll lore yet. Okay. So, you know. There's nothing to be upset about either. Professor Mistakria and Itchy, they've used just a touch too much magic in an effort to clear the Botany labs. Now that they have a big leafy problem on their hands in the form of an overgrown ancient that threatens to undo all their hard work. Are you working out, man? You look buff. I am very much working out, Martin. 2 or 3 years ago, like start of the whole lockdown business, I took charge of my health and my eating, and I've gone down from 120 kilograms to 90 kilograms, and I'm currently on a cycle between bulking and cutting in order to increase strength and weight, and that's been for the last 3 years now. If you want more details, look me up on the Instagram. I got like the whole workout change over there. But yeah, doing really, really well. The Lish Leraf or Talondras arena is quite literally for the birds these days. Ha 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 ha. Croft has taken up residence in the center of the arena. There's no immediate plans to move out soon. Let's see if we can get her to play ball and leave. So, yeah, it's basically Anzu. And then there's the Echo. Head teacher Doragosa thought of everything when it came to Algervar Academy, including a complex simulacrum of herself to take care of any day-to-day task, and upkeep with the Isles lay dormant. Now that the academy is open once again, perhaps you can use it to help keep track of all the new students. It's doing a fine job in the interim, and is absolutely the one spell that did not degrade after all these years. Perfectly stable and helpful. Right? This is very much a Gnoll thing, and the Gnolls are dealing with, like, corruption or decay, whatnot. Rawfi discovered decay magic in her thirst for power, and she declared herself the Decartriarch after mastering it. She now builds the strength of the Brackenhide by spreading her dark magic among her tribe to the Tusker, and all of the Azure span will rot in its wake. Ooh. So yeah, they basically found, like, decay magic. The Halls of Infusion are actually rather interesting, because what I've done so far with the questing is you go through the Isles, you basically get up to the point where, you know, you get, like, all their Oath Stones back up and running, and they tell you, like, let's go to the Halls of Infusion. And through the dungeon, it basically ends with, oh, cool, we've reinvigorated our powers. Yay, we're back how we used to be. So, yeah. When does the pre-event start? Don't know. Good question. Apparently, we're going to get it at the end of November, so I imagine that we're going to be looking at either half November or the start of November. And we're looking at raiding at the 13th of December, so I'm really hoping that for the World First Raiders, that they can actually clear the raid within a week. If not, then they're going to be having a bad time. Is flying for Drakfir well made? Yes. So deep beneath Tierhold lies the Halls of Infusion. Its structure was built upon an ancient wellspring, the waters of which were channeled by Keeper Tyr to feed the life pools of the Red Flight. Now that the Dragon Isles have reawakened, Primalist forces have invaded these halls. Have they come to destroy the facility, or to reveal the secrets that Tyr left behind? Okay, maintain the Halls of Infusion. There's a Watcher. Tony, what are you doing? Caught off guard by the Primalist incursion, he was overwhelmed by the elemental powers. Big ass Froggo in there. Devour any creature that comes close. Kajin the Unyielding seethes with hatred for Keeper Tyr for tampering with the ancient wellspring beneath Tierhold. Oh, there's a troll, by the way. Waters that once flowed with the eternal essence of Azeroth have now been polluted by Order magic. Kajin would see the world freed from the malignant legacy of the Titans at any cost. Kajin, you do realize that if the Titans didn't show up, the old gods would still be here, right? Right? No? Huh. But okay, they're not down with the Titan influences, fair enough. Infusion Saria is driven to restore the world to what it once was, a primal elemental landscape of unfettered power. She's used all her will and cunning to summon the Primal Tsunami. Sorry. How long did it take them to come up with that name? Howdy, Alexa. Since last week. An elemental being mighty enough to topple Keeper Tyr's facility and return the waters of the wellspring to the natural state. Primal Tsunami. Cool. Huh? Yeah, they want to go back to the days before the old gods. They want to go back to very primal Azeroth. Looks like Immersius? Yeah. It is another elemental. Well, Nell Forest we spoke about. Ruby life pools, this is underneath the Alexstrasza zone, and they're like messing about with where they hatch the dragon eggs, right? As the ancestral nesting grounds for the Five Flights, the Ruby life pools is a sacred place. The Red Dragonflight, whose charge is to nurture all life, they protect these pools and the future of all dragonkin held within. However, Razageth and her Primalist have come to steal that future away and infuse their own powers into the sacred pools. They must be stopped for dragonkind to thrive. Meladrissa. Meladrissi. Holy shit. Don't do that. Oh, howdy sha. Hello there. Meladrissi Chillborn. See, now I can't read it any other way. Meladrissi Chillborn leads the Primalist Infusion efforts within the Ruby life pools. Her fervent belief is that she is protecting young Dragon Eggs from the influence of the Titans and cleansing them from the stain of Order magics. Oh man, I was reading that. So she thinks that she's helping those dragons, so it's very much like the Primal Elemental forces versus Order forces. That's what's happening with the Primalist. Now, where did the Primalist come from? I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna assume that it's either pre-event or pre-story time. The UI, by the way, I've increased it so you can actually read the book easier, but the layout is entirely my own choice. You can swap it around any way you like. As Primalist forces assault the Ruby life pools from all sides, it falls to Kokia and her blaze-bound lieutenants to capture Precious X from overwhelmed defenders, all the while spreading flame and havoc as they go. By fire be purged. Howdy, Oily. Hello there. Kiraka and Erkhard roam the skies above the Ruby life pools, coordinating attacks on the shrine below, while also taking out any interfering dragons. If left unchecked, they burn the life pools to the ground and blow the remaining ash away in a cleansing elemental storm. Like, again, the art team decides, you know what, we're just gonna throw this on our back and we're gonna carry it. Like, the art team has done a wonderful, wonderful job. This dungeon, the Ruby life pools, opinion-wise, I enjoyed it well enough, but so far, if I would say like which one has really made an impression, I would say Algervar Academy, as well as the Nokhut Offensive. And I haven't tested yet the Azure Vault, the Legacy of Tyr, or the Halls of Infusion. Yeah. Long ago, Malygos created the Azure Vault as a place for Sindragosa to catalog and store any curious magical artifacts that he found. Locked away and deserted millennia ago, the vault has since fallen into disrepair, leaving it vulnerable to attacks from without and within. Howdy Mapuzela. Hello there. Playmore was born of a humble seedling that Malygos found in a pool of ley energy, once but a small sprout in Sindragosa's garden. Over millennia, Playmore has shot up like a weed. Left to its own devices, the looming giant would surely overrun the entirety of the Azure Vault. So, that is a big boy. So, look, he has a tree on his head. Having a hard time getting into WoW again. What would I recommend to do first when it's out? I would recommend make a Dragfear if you're going to be playing Dragonflight. New class, new race, new starting zone. That's usually the best way to refresh a love for the game, right? As security for the vault, the Azure Blade refused to leave when it was sealed, choosing duty over safety. When the Blue Dragons failed to return, her bitter resignation drove her to eventual madness. Wait, but you chose to stay behind. Okay. Extending her own life with the magics that she was sworn to protect, Azure Blade now claims ownership over all the Blue Dragonflights left behind. This is mine! You left me behind for millennia, I was alone! This is mine! It is very much the Nexus Part 2. Furious. I mean, this is literally the stone giants that walk those halls. Like, this is literally a boss in the goddamn Nexus. What happened to the Scourge? We killed the Scourge. What happened after the Scourge, after the Shadowlands? I have no clue. Honestly, I have no clue. It's very much in the line of what sort. Like, what exactly happened to the Scourge now that the Helmet of Domination is gone? What happened to the Scourge when the Helmet of Domination got ripped apart? Well, the Scourge went on a rampage, and we left the Scarlet Crusaders to deal with the mess. But it wasn't like we wiped all of them out. So maybe in like those 5 years, the Scarlet Crusaders have just been really busy farming those mobs, and they just cleared the world of Scourge. That could be a thing. Unironically though, like if they actually invest a bit of time, it could be really interesting to see what would happen to the Scourge. Because we have the Forsaken, those that allied themselves to Sylvanas Windrunner, but Sylvanas is not there anymore. We now have the Desolate Council. Would those that are like liberated Scourge members, would they join the Desolate Council, or would they start making their own factions? And if they make their own factions, what could lead out of that, right? Could be interesting. furious at the blue Dragonflights. Oh, as well as how the hell are they going to keep the Forsaken going now that they no longer have ways to reproduce, nor ways of making more Forsaken. Furious at the blue Dragonflight, Telash Greywing is determined to find the secrets that Sindragos has been hiding in the Arcane Vault. Together with the Sundered Flame, he is certain that he will discover more about the origins of the Drakfir and incriminating evidence against the blue Dragonflights. No clue. Maybe in regards to... Oh, that looks interesting. That's like a polygon dragon. What? I could see this customization become available for our dragons as well. Titan Training Matrix, a recipe. Set item level based on crafting quality. Ah. Nobody can be told what a Titan Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. Boo! Yeah, okay. Millennia ago, Umberskull unwillingly meddled with raw arcane power. Riddled with crystalline growths, he was taken to the Azure Vault until a cure could be found. Sadly, the vault was sealed away, and it left Umberskull sleeping in stasis until now. Alright. So here we have the Noku Defensive. There's a zone on the Dragon Isles, and it's called the Onaran Plains. And basically what they've done, they've taken the zone, and they've instanted it. Meaning that you can fly throughout the whole dungeon, and you can use like your dragon riding. You can fly up. You can drop onto the packs. It's actually quite nice. So I'm really curious how it's going to be for pathing, and I'm curious how it's going to be for like Mythic Plus, where you can actually fly in the dungeon. You can't fly to the Emboss. They've got like a barrier with thunder, and you're not allowed to drop onto the Emboss. So there is a certain amount. But before that, you can fly around the battlefield, and honestly, it very much reminded me of Oculus, but bigger, and it's actually very nicely done. Greniv casts a shadow over the plains of Onara, appearing as an omen of death and destruction. As battles between the Centaur clan rages across the plains, he knows it is time to destroy his ancient enemies once and for all. Soon he will land on the battlefield. Clan Shikar's ballista will be ready. There's actually an interesting bit of lore, and I wonder if they're going to explain it. So we learned that there's going to be a server restart as well. We learned that there is a clan of Centaur on the Dragon Isles. And we learned that they followed this wild god to the Dragon Isles. This wild god is connected to High Mountain. It's the bird, Onara. And similarly, the storyline that goes on in the zone is also very similar to the one that goes on in High Mountain. Hiya. Which is... there's different Centaur clans. One is the aggressive one. They strike out and team up with the bad guy. It's very much like what happens in High Mountain. But point being is that the origin of the Centaur, the original Centaur, is that once upon a time, we had the son of Cenarius, who got drunk one night, and they got it on with Princess Feridras, right? That's how the original Centaur came to be. However, this didn't happen 10,000 years ago. This happened like 1,200 years ago or something like that. So it's impossible for the Centaur to have followed Onara to the Dragon Isles. So the question becomes, where the hell do these new Centaur come from? And it's not impossible to explain. Can you blame them? I know. For example, one explanation I would give is that you got the son of Cenarius with Princess Feridras. Why not have Cenarius himself with her mother, Ferazane? And that way, it's kind of like a father-son deal, and we just find out that Cenarius himself created Centaur before his son did. It's a little bit iffy, but it is an explanation, right? Otherwise, how the hell are you going to explain that the Centaur are on an island that's been locked away for 10,000 years? It's got to be interesting. Then we got the Raging Tempest. Tira and Maruk, Uktel necromancers, are resurrecting a legendary centaur. The spirits of the first matriarch, Tira, and the centaur's greatest warrior, Maruk, have risen from their graves. These ancestors now kill on command. These are the ones that actually led the centaur to the Dragon Isles. Once their fury is abated, perhaps they can find rest again and eternal peace. And then we got the Balakar Khan. The Khan is the ruthless leader of Clan Nokut. His storm causes have captured the great eagle spirit Onara, and he wants to seize the Wind Mother's power. Hatred unites his clan against all outsiders. As your relentless offensive continues, someone must stand up to these tyrants. Right, we were talking about the Centaur, and now we're at Uldaman, Legacy of Tyr. Uldaman is an ancient Titan facility where long ago, allies of the heroic Keeper Tyr hit the discs of Norganon. After he returned to the Dragon Isles, Queen Electraza learned of another disc that was locked away within Uldaman. How could we have missed it? One that holds the memories of Tyr himself. Okay. Sorry. Believing this knowledge is needed to restore the power of the aspects. Electraza has asked her mortal allies to brave the perils of Uldaman and recover Tyr's memories to secure the future of dragonkind. Any change to the Dragonflight area? Not as far as I'm aware, but I can have a look-see in a moment. So, the Lost Dwarfs, the quest for ancient knowledge, untold riches, and worldwide fame. It's lured the brothers Eric, Olaf, and Balog, which is actually based on the game, the Dwarfs, into the depths of Uldaman once again. But it seems that these brazen explorers may have stayed underground just a bit too long, as their scrambled senses are preventing them from recognizing whether someone is friend or foe. Never played that game. But apparently it was well hippity-hoppity-hypey back in his day. Oh my god, is that Azurite? Oh no. Oh, Bromach. I am so sorry. Did a weird dwarf start yelling, heal the wounds? Did somebody try to farm you? The burly Bromach is chieftain of the Stonefall Trogs, a brutal bunch who believe that Uldaman's treasures belong to them. While Bromach has a particular distaste for meddling dwarves, he is determined that no outsider will get past him. He doesn't like dwarves. Okay. Quaking Totem, Bloodlust, and Thundering Slam. Oh, okay. He's just the one with the lizards, except now he has Azurite in his shoulder pads. Cool. Sephiroth. Ooh. Oh, Love in the Eyes. Talondras is one of the Refti? Sorry. Refti, a Titan Forest race crafted by Keeper Tyr. That's a Sephiroth. That's not a Refti at all. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna assume that what we're seeing here is beta, and we still need development in order to get like a new model. Or maybe it's just a Stone Sephiroth. I don't know. The Talondras is one of the Refti, a Titan Forge race crafted by Keeper Tyr to work in harmony with dragonkind. Fiercely loyal to their maker, the Refti were sometimes sent to distant shores to carry out important missions. Sentinel Talondras was charged with defending the route to the disc holding Tyr's memories, and determined to keep the unworthy from laying claim to her maker's legacy. Clearly it has horns. It's a different race. Clearly. I wonder, by the way, sometimes I see like message retracted. Is that like a comment from a person that like, I don't want to ask Nobbel this, so I like delete my own message? Huh. I wanted to see more about Azurite. That could be a thing. Beta realms are back? Hell yeah. Emberon stuck his hands in lava. Titan vaults are infamous for their intricate defenses, and the halls of Uldaman are no exception. Forged by the skilled hands of Keeper Arcadus long ago, Emberon was imbued with the ability to unleash searing flames upon any who seek to plunder the Titan secrets. Ooh. And then Chrono Lord Deus, which is an infinite dragon. While the Dragon Queen seeks to restore the aspect's powers, there are others amongst dragonkind who do not want to see Electraza's plans succeed. Chrono Lord Dios intends for his flight to control the time waves and to usher in the coming of the one true aspect, whose dominions shall be infinite. Oh, that's a bit of a time fuckery. They want to make like the real... See, so it has to do with Nosdormu not having his full powers. Interesting. Interesting. So there's something in that regard. Okay. Oh, there you go. Crazed Traveler's Leg Wraps. Huh. The minion shall be Gallifrey. Oh, I need to rewatch Doctor Who. Very much so. Nosdormu's alter ego. I think you're talking about Moruzand, yeah? Which is more like Nosdormu's future self. Although, the dialogue kind of suggests that they're now talking about an alternate self rather than a future self. But that might also have to do with development. Aeronog. Now that looks cool. I want his gear. Terrasec. You look like the ones from Mr. Pandaria. You remember those lizards? Aeronog, commander of the Primalist forces, is relentless in his pursuit of power. With the Incarnate's release imminent, Aeronog summons the whole of his army and will not hesitate to sacrifice devoted followers to achieve victory. No, not the Sauroks. Those are the ones. It reminds me of the Saurok. So, overview of the encounter. This usually still changes with time. Primalists sought to pull Teros, an unyielding force of destruction, from the elemental plane. However, their ritual was interrupted. Trapped between two worlds, this hulking terror seeks to free himself and obliterate everything in his path. Is he gonna be stuck like Ragnaros? Is he gonna be stuck like Kil'jaeden? Yep. Aww. You know what would be cool? If we ever see... You know how on Outland there is the elemental... I can do this from the top of my head. Can I? No, I can't. Classic Raiders, help me out here. There was an elemental. In Nos? What was he called? He had like a weird name. Not you. Murmur. This elemental had a description about being like an elemental of sound. And I would love to deal with like their domain. I've never had the element of sound play a part in it. That was well cool. Yeah, sound elemental. I was like, well, if we're dealing with Elementalists, we might as well have more sounds in there, right? Right, back to raids. Vault of the Incarnate. So Teros is like halfway through. Looks cool though. Reminds me of Hearthstone for some reason. I could totally see this as whenever you play a card, this card will deal 1 damage and then like his little laser beam activates. Rock Blasts. Concussive Slam. Resonating Annihilation. Portion of the Chamber in Aftermath. Oh, cool. I always love reading like dungeon journals and raids and whatnot. Okay. The Primal Council. No models yet. These masters of the elements are ruthless in their pursuit of power. Ember Firepath is as merciless as the fire that she commands. Opalfang wields the might of earth to crush her enemies. Kadros is cold and cruel. Oh, I don't know why that made me laugh. It's just... That's such a nasty description. Imagine that people talk about you and like they're so cold and cruel. While his sibling is as wild and unpredictable as a raging storm. Love you too, everybody. And Zach, I'm feeling really, really well. Yeah. Doing well. Yeah, they're not exactly models to be checking out. They seem to be trolls. Oh, Opalfang is a bear. Cool. Okay. I could be down with that, sure. Why not? Then there is Senarf, the Cold Breath. Senarf, Kurak Grim Totem's most vicious creation, is a massive arachnid infused with the unforgiving cold. Her singular purpose is to guard a brood of 1,000, awaiting the day that they'll hatch and enshroud Azeroth in a web of winter. That's just a Nerubian with ice. Oh, that's great. Okay. You remember the boss from Emerald Nightmare? It's a Brubian. A blue Elementalist Feral. Yep. Sorry, I did not expect that model. I love the description though. The description is very poetic. Enshroud Azeroth in a web of winter. It's reverse Bephalak. Yep. Oh. Driven Manik by her defeats, Davea strikes a bargain with Razagev to attain even greater power. Imbued with a fraction of the incarnate strength, Davea gains control of the wind itself and unleashes ferocity to tear her enemies apart. Cool. So I'm imagining Davea is one that we defeat earlier, yeah? And then they come back with like wind powers. Oh, cool. I think we actually deal with her in one of the zones. I don't remember which one though. Howdy, Elvin. Howdy, everybody. Gorak Grim Totem. They're the ones that show up on the Drakfir land. I remember that one. Once a prized pupil of Magalfa. Oh shit, Magalfa is actually connected to this. Cool. Once a prized pupil of Magalfa Grim Totem, this master of the primal elementals is preparing to unleash his most devastating creations. If Gorak is not stopped, his entities of storm, fire, ice, and earth will wreak havoc across the whole of Azeroth. You know, speaking of Magalfa, wonder if she'll play a part in all of this. Like, we're dealing with elements. Magalfa should definitely be interested, right? We kind of just left her at the end of the Shaman Order Hall. But this, like, look at this. Jedi! Welcome, welcome. Sparker, I'll look at the weapons after I've done descriptions, yeah? I'll browse through it. I like this outfit, though. This looks well cool. Aw, Elucard. Have a good day. Then we got the Brute. So... Now that's... Hello, Broodkeeper. Sorry. Broodkeeper Daruna is the fierce guardian of the Primalist Nursery. She devotes her considerable strength to protect the unhatched and seeks vengeance for the ones she lost. Aww. Great staff for the Broodkeeper. Wildfire, incubation, so ad's gonna spawn. Are we gonna kite her around in circles? Because that would make me well happy. And then there's Razagev the Storm Eater. Razagev devoutly believes that dragonkind was meant to be as wild and free as the storm itself. Should she succeed at freeing her fellow incarnates from their ancient prison, Razagev and her kin will topple the aspects, scour the world clean of every trace of the Titan's influence. Razagev and the Primeless force begun their final assault on the Vault of the Incarnate, seeking to shed their prisons to hold their siblings. As the battle begins, Razagev uses Hurricane Wing to sweep her assailants from the central platform. Upon reaching 70%, Razagev begins an aerial assault against Fiok's Infernus prisons with lightning devastation while summoning ground force to attack the prisons directly. Surging Ruiners surge with lightning, draining the vaults of its power. When the integrity of the vaults falls to 50%, Razagev lands on Irkun's prison and begins to drain the vault's power using Storm Surge. When the integrity of the vault falls to 10%, Razagev takes off and summons Colossal Storm Fiends to drain the vaults of its remaining power. As the vaults fail, Razagev returns to the central platform and becomes the heart of the raging storm. The Storm Eater begins the full force of abilities against her assailants as she ushers in the dark clouds of a new age. Was it Age of Mortals? Bet it's not the Age of Mortals. Razagev summons a raging storm that engulfs the platform over time. Neat. So that's her goal. She wants to set free her brothers and sisters, like other elemental, massive proto-dragons. Cool, okay. I'm down with that. Oathsworn Vanguard, Stormseeker Acolytes. Razagev. Hurricane Wing, yada yada yada. The Vault of the Incarnates. So that's what they're after. Okay. And then we either stop them or we don't. And if we don't stop them, then they might be a threat for later. But if the whole idea is... if we're not going to be stopping them, then, you know... the whole world would be ruined. The Broodmother, I unfortunately can't zoom in, but she seems to have like a little egg around the neck. Pronunciations, by the way. Don't take it for granted. I've been calling Sibelian for years. It's Sibelian, apparently. I don't know the pronunciation until the game gives it to me. And even when the game gives it to me, I still have some time to adjust it.